Oh, let's go. Y'all, the internet is on fire right now. Because Claressa Shields just went live, and what she said has the entire culture shook. This wasn't your usual confident, untouchable quote moment. No, this was Claressa raw, emotional, and breaking down walls in front of thousands. And what triggered it? The endless online chatter about her looks and, out of nowhere, her alleged ties to Papoose on live. Claressa's voice cracked as she admitted, "It really bothers me. When people call me ugly, I'm a fighter, but I'm human. And y'all don't know how much it hurts." For a woman who spent her whole career proving she can outfight anyone, to see her confess that words from faceless trolls cut deeper than punches. The kind of confession nobody saw coming, but just when the live felt like a vulnerable therapy session. She brought up the name that's been following her like a curse, Papoose. She slammed her phone on the table and snapped, and stopped bringing up that man. Y'all don't know the truth? Y'all don't know what's really going on? The chat went crazy. Fans were spamming. Wait, what truth? Why Pap though? Is she admitting something? Twitter exploded within minutes. One fan posted, "This live just exposed everything. Why is she so defensive about Papoose if nothing happened?" Another wrote, "Claressa crying over being called ugly but dragging Pap into it." This story getting darker. So now the headlines are wild. Claressa, one of the toughest women in sports, finally broke, admitting online insults wreck her and hinting there's more to her Papoose connection than she ever wanted the world to know. But here's the kicker. Fam, the live didn't end there. Because just before she signed off, Claressa dropped a line that nobody can stop replaying. And if you thought the crying was emotional, that last sentence? It turned this from a breakdown into a scandal. Claressa Shields has built her name on being untouchable. From the boxing ring to social media, she's branded herself as the greatest woman of all time. The GWOAT, her fists, her medals, her belts all prove that she's a fighter in every sense of the word. But for all her dominance, Claressa has always been carrying something heavy in the background. The way people talk about her. For years, trolls have targeted her looks. Twitter threads mocking her face, Instagram comments calling her masculine, Reddit boards tearing apart her style. Claressa, who's had to fight through poverty, abuse, and a system stacked against her, found herself fighting another invisible battle, the constant digital noise labeling her as ugly. She's clapped back plenty of times, tweeting things like, "Y'all can't knock a queen off her throne." But this time, something was different. This time, she broke. What led to this boiling point? Insiders close to Claressa have whispered that the Papoose rumors didn't just come out of nowhere. Months ago, small gossip accounts started suggesting that Claressa had been DMing Pap. Sometimes in a friendly way, sometimes in a way fans swore looked flirty. Screenshots floated around, unverified, blurry, but enough to plant the seed. At first, nobody took them seriously. Papoose was Remy Ma's husband, the hip-hop community's poster boy for loyalty. The idea that Claressa would even go there seemed ridiculous. But then came the slip-ups. Claressa liked one of Pap's posts at 3 a.m. She shared a story with lyrics about loyalty breaking down. She tweeted something cryptic. "Even kings get tempted. Even queens get blamed." Fans instantly connected dots, and suddenly her name and Pap's were being thrown together on blogs, podcasts, and messy Twitter spaces. Fast forward to this live, Claressa was clearly spiraling, her face red, her tone sharp. When she said, "Stop bringing up that man," the internet didn't hear denial. They heard confirmation. Because if it was just trolls lying, why get so defensive? Why lose her composure? And let's not forget the timing. Just weeks earlier, Remy Ma was accused again of stepping out on Papoose. Old rumors about battle rappers and secret flings resurfaced. Pap was already under pressure. And suddenly, here's Claressa, in the middle of her own emotional storm, bringing his name back to the spotlight. To fans, it looked less like a coincidence and more like a collision waiting to happen. But Claressa's struggle with how people perceive her isn't just about Papoose or Remy. It's about identity. For years, she's fought to be respected as both a woman and an athlete. She's admitted before that she hates how female boxers get overlooked, how women in sports are held to impossible standards. So when fans cut her down, calling her unattractive, it touches a raw nerve. Because no matter how many belts she holds, she still feels like the world refuses to see her as beautiful, feminine, or worthy of admiration outside the ring. The live was a breaking point. She didn't just say she was bothered, she cried. She bared a side of herself that fans rarely see. And in doing so, she made one thing clear. This wasn't just another troll rant. This was a woman under siege, cracking under the weight of constant judgment. But here's where it gets messy, right? As people were beginning to sympathize, she dragged Papoose into it. She could have ignored the rumors. She could have brushed them off. Instead, she gave them new life. Her words turned whispers into a trending scandal. And fans started asking the question Claressa was desperate to avoid. What's the real connection here? 'Cause think about it. Why would the name of one man out of millions of insults online send her into such an emotional spiral? Why Pap? Why now? And just as the internet began pulling receipts, one of Claressa's own friends went live with a cryptic statement that made everything even worse. That moment turned this from an emotional rant into a scandal with teeth. The live had already been explosive, but what happened next took it from emotional to scandalous. Claressa, wiping tears from her face, scrolled through her phone midstream and said, "Y'all think I don't see the ADMITS? Y'all think I don't know what's being said? I see it all, and I'm sick of it." For a split second, her camera flashed a screen, a blurred-out DM thread with Pap's profile picture. At the top, fans lost their minds. Within minutes, TikTok clips of that moment went viral. Creators zoomed in, pausing frame by frame, trying to decode the messages. One influencer claimed the text read, "Don't worry about them. You know, you, my homie." Another swore they saw heart emojis. Nothing was clear, but the damage was done. The narrative had flipped. Claressa might not just be defending herself. She might have receipts. But then came the friend leak. Hours after Claressa ended her live, one of her close friends, a hairstylist who's been seen with her ringside, went live on TikTok and dropped a bomb. Without naming names, she said, "Some people play too close with married men and then cry when the internet finds out." That's all I'm gonna say. The comments blew up. Is she talking about Pap? That's shade at Claressa. No question. Friend turning into enemy. Oh my God. The stylist didn't back down either. She laughed, sipped her drink, and ended the live with, "Receipts always come out, trust me." Suddenly, Claressa's breakdown looked less like trolls bullying her and more like the cover-up to a bigger story. Fans started piecing things together: the late-night likes, the cryptic lyrics, the meltdown when Pap's name came up, and now this shady friend commentary. And then, the first twist hit like a knockout punch. Out of nowhere, Papoose himself liked a tweet defending Claressa. The post read, "Y'all need to stop dragging Claressa into this nonsense. She's a champion, not your gossip target." That single like sent Twitter into chaos, because to the internet, it wasn't just a like. It was validation. Why would Papoose, the king of loyalty, Remy Ma's ride or die, touch anything connected to Claressa if there wasn't something there? Screenshots spread everywhere. Headlines screamed, "Pap defends Claressa," and blogs jumped to conclusions. Remy's name started trending. Fans began dragging her. Imagine holding down Pap for decades, and now Claressa, of all people, is in the picture. Some even speculated this was revenge for Remy's own cheating rumors. Suddenly, the internet was rewriting hip-hop's most loyal love story into a tragic betrayal soap opera. Meanwhile, Claressa's silence only added fuel. She didn't deny the screenshots, didn't address her friend's shade, didn't explain Pap's suspicious like. Instead, she posted a cryptic black screen with one word, enough. Fans read it as everything but enough. To them, it was guilt, confirmation. Or worse, the start of a war. And just as the blog settled on this narrative, an anonymous DM started circulating among gossip accounts. The alleged message claimed to be from someone inside Claressa's camp saying, "She's not lying. Pap's been around." They keep it private, but it's real. Fake or not, it spread like wildfire. Twitter threads hit 50,000 likes in hours. YouTubers dropped instant explainers. The story had shifted entirely. It was no longer about Claressa being bullied online. It was about Claressa possibly confessing to a messy entanglement with one of hip-hop's most loyal husbands. But what nobody expected was the second half of Pap's involvement. Because while the internet was exploding, Pap quietly deleted his like on that tweet. Fans noticed instantly. It's backtracking. Remy pressed him. Now it's really true. And just like that, the twist came full circle. Claressa's breakdown wasn't just emotional. It's cracked open a scandal that dragged Papoose, Remy, and her entire reputation into the spotlight. And the worst part? The night wasn't over yet. 'Cause hours later, Claressa's ex made his own shocking entrance into the story. And what he revealed turned the whole mess into something darker, more personal, and way harder to deny. If the live stream and the friends' shady comments weren't enough to set the internet on fire, what came next was the gasoline. Hours after Claressa's meltdown, her ex-boyfriend, a name fans hadn't heard in years, jumped on Instagram Live with his own truth. And he wasn't holding back. The ex, a Detroit rapper who dated Claressa back before her mainstream fame, smirked into the camera and said, "I tried to warn her. Y'all think she just crying over trolls? She crying 'cause the truths. Ow, Pap, been around. She told me herself. Back then, I ain't even care 'cause I knew she needed validation. But now, y'all see it for yourselves." Fans went ballistic. Was he telling the truth or just clout chasing? The man had no hard proof, but his confidence was enough to make the blogs eat it up. Screenshots of his live spread everywhere, captions screaming, "X confirms Pap connection." And right as the internet was debating whether he was credible, Remy Ma made her move. She didn't say Claressa's name, but her timing was surgical, posting a selfie in full glam with the caption, "They always talk, but they never replace." Fans knew exactly who she was talking about. The comment section lit up. "This is shade at Claressa 100%. Remy saying she's unbothered. But she watching." But Remy wasn't the only one fanning flames. A battle rapper, already known for his messy takes, tweeted, "Crazy how the Gwat throwing jabs outside the ring now. Pap's solid, but some women can't handle boundaries." That tweet alone racked up 50,000 likes in 12 hours. Meanwhile, Claressa tried to spin the narrative. She tweeted, "Exes be lying, fake friends be clout chasing, and people believe anything but the truth. I'm done explaining myself." But fans weren't convinced. One viral reply read, "If it was all lies, why you crying? Why Pap liking tweets? Why your own people shading you?" Then came the shocking reveal that took this scandal to nuclear levels. Gossip page Tiandra Seats dropped alleged DMs between Claressa and Papoose. The screenshots were blurry, watermarked, and allegedly from months ago. But the text read, "Claressa, you really think Remy don't know? Pap, she trusts me. Don't get in your head," whether real or fabricated. The screenshots went viral instantly. Blogs plastered them everywhere, and Twitter was in chaos. Fans screamed, "Oh my God, this confirms everything." Others defended Pap. "These could be fake. Y'all really want him to cheat so bad?" But the damage was done. Even doubt was enough to break the perfect Pap image. What made it worse? Pap went silent. No denials, no posts, no likes. Silence from him was louder than words. And Remy's energy shifted too. She unfollowed a gossip page that had been posting the alleged ADMITS. Fans saw that as her way of saying, I see it, but I'm not feeding it. The scandal was now everywhere. Shade Room, Hollywood, Unlocked. Twitter Spaces, YouTube explainers. What started as Claressa crying over trolls had turned into an all-out character assassination of Papoose. Questions about Remy's marriage, and Claressa's reputation spiraling out of control. And just when people thought it couldn't get uglier, one of Claressa's sparring partners allegedly leaked a voice memo of her talking to a friend about Pap. In the recording, a woman's voice sounding eerily like Claressa said, "He's solid but lonely. Remy don't always got time for him. People don't get it, but he needs me sometimes." Whether authentic or deepfaked, fans didn't care. They ran with it. Now the narrative wasn't just speculation, it was proof. This wasn't just gossip anymore. Was the implosion of a legend's image, the dismantling of a hip-hop love story, and the public unraveling of Claressa's mental state all in one storm. But the cliffhanger, the storm hadn't peaked yet, because while fans were dissecting every screenshot and leak, a brand new player entered the chat, someone nobody expected. And their words threatened to change everything we thought we knew about this saga. When? The leaks dropped, when the voice memo started circling. And when Remy's indirect clapback landed, the internet turned into a battlefield. Public reaction wasn't just loud, it was deafening. Twitter threads stretched for miles, Instagram comment sections exploded. And TikTok creators had enough material to make dozens of breakdown videos. Fans were split straight down the middle. On one side were the defenders saying Claressa was being bullied, misunderstood, and unfairly dragged. "Y'all really can't stand to see a strong black woman shine," one fan wrote. Another tweeted, "Even if she slipped up with Pap, that don't erase her greatness in the ring. Y'all too invested in her personal life." But on the other side, the haters were ruthless. She crying over trolls because the truth hurts. One viral post read, "You can't fight your way out of this one, Claressa." Some even took the ugliness further, doubling down on insults about her looks, fueling the very pain she confessed in her live. The cruelty turned the scandal into a feeding frenzy. And it wasn't just fans. Celebrities and industry figures weighed in too. And that's when things got nuclear. Jason Lee, never one to stay quiet, jumped on Instagram Live. "Listen, I've been in this game too long. When someone's that defensive, it's usually 'cause something's there. Pap, that man's been the gold standard. But if this is true, that's the fall of a legend." His words hit hard, and within hours his clip was trending. Then came Cardi B, who posted a cryptic tweet. "Y'all better stop testing me, 'cause I got screenshots too. Mind your business." Fans immediately tied it to the scandal, speculating that Cardi might have inside info on Pap and Remy. Given her own history in the Bronx, blogs twisted her words into headlines like Cardi hints at more Pap receipts. Even athletes weighed in. Cam Newton? Yes. Cam posted on his podcast, "When you're in the spotlight, people gone talk. That real ones know where home is." It wasn't directly about Claressa, but fans latched onto it. Is Cam shading her? Is he defending Pap? Or is he trying to slide in? Meanwhile, Remy's silence only fueled the narrative. Industry insiders whispered that she was furious behind the scenes but determined not to give Claressa the spotlight. A popular gossip blog claimed Remy had unfollowed Claressa on Instagram, which turned out to be false, but by then it didn't matter. Fans believed it. The scandal bled into battle rap too. A viral clip showed a battler freestyling. Claressa threw hands in the ring but folded for Pap. Now Remy's sitting back laughing while the internet clapped. The crowd erupted and the clip went everywhere. Now the bars weren't just about gossip, they were entertainment currency. And yet, I've put in the middle of the chaos, Claressa's fans tried to humanize her. One wrote a heartfelt thread. Do y'all realize how painful it is for someone to admit words hurt them? Have y'all been calling this woman ugly for years? Of course she broke down. Of course she snapped. You'd snap too? The thread gained traction, even making it to mainstream news outlets who spun the story into a larger conversation about online bullying. ESPN even touched it briefly during a boxing segment, with one analyst saying, "This is why athletes struggle. They're not robots. Claressa's the GWOAT, but she's still human. People need to show empathy." But the empathy was drowned out by the louder voices of speculation and shade. And then, the wildest twist of the reaction cycle. And then the wildest twist of the reaction cycle, 50 Cent jumped in. He reposted one of the gossip clips on Instagram with the caption, "Damn, Pap. Say it ain't so. LOL." The post racked up 500,000 likes in hours, and fans went crazy. If 50's clowning you, means the story is too big to ignore. The scandal had gone from Claressa's private pain to public humiliation. Remy's indirect flex, Pap's suspicious silence, and the entire culture debating whether his perfect husband was really perfect at all. But even as fans and celebs were taking sides, the industry itself was shifting. A promoter, Claressa, was supposed to work with canceled a press event, citing timing issues. A podcast appearance she had scheduled got postponed indefinitely. Insiders whispered that sponsors were getting nervous. Suddenly, the drama wasn't just gossip, it was money on the line. And yet, through all the noise, the one question that haunted everyone was the same. Why did Claressa bring up Pap in the first place? Nobody forced her to say his name on live. Nobody tagged him. She put him in the fire herself. And now she was burning with him. But what the world didn't know was that Claressa wasn't done talking. She had another live coming. And sources claimed this one would drop a direct statement about Papoose, one that could either save her reputation or obliterate it completely. Just when it seemed the scandal had hit its peak, Claressa proved the storm wasn't over. Days after the internet turned her vulnerable live into a cultural circus, she hit that go live button again. But this time she wasn't crying. She wasn't broken. She was fiery, sharp, and ready to set the record straight. Or so fans thought. Claressa sat in a dimly lit room, her tone steady. "Y'all think I'm weak? Y'all think I'm scared? I ain't scared of none of y'all. What bothers me is the lies. What bothers me is people putting names in my mouth, twisting my pain into some narrative for clicks." She paused, leaned into the camera, and said it flat out. "Papoose is not my man." The chat went ballistic. Some cheered, others spammed. "You lying? So why the tears? What about the DMs?" Then came the twist. She added, "But don't get it twisted, y'all. Don't know everything. Some of y'all faves ain't as innocent as you think. Y'all worship people who got skeletons stacked higher than my belts." That one line was enough to reignite the flames. She wasn't denying involvement, she was flipping it, painting Pap and even Remy as possible hypocrites. Suddenly, fans were debating, was she saying Pap did something shady? Was she hinting Remy wasn't loyal? Or was this all just misdirection to save herself? And right when speculation was reaching fever pitch, Papoose finally broke his silence. On his Instagram story, he posted a simple black screen with 3 words, "God knows truth." No names, no explanation, just a cryptic message. But to the internet, that wasn't enough. It felt like a dodge, like an admission without admitting. Remy, for her part, doubled down on her unbothered queen energy. She posted a clip of her performing on stage with the caption, "Too blessed to be stressed." Fans immediately saw it as shade, as if she was daring Claressa to keep running her mouth while she remained untouchable. But the real bomb dropped not from Claressa, not from Pap, not from Remy, but from another leaked voice memo. This time, allegedly from someone close to Remy's camp, it featured a woman saying, "Remy ain't stupid. She knows what's up." but she's never gonna let the internet see her sweat. The blogs went crazy. Remy aware of Pap's alleged secret? Insiders say Claressa isn't lying. Whether the audio was real or fake didn't matter. The story had mutated into something bigger, something the culture couldn't turn away from. And Claressa. She ended her live with the line that left the whole internet clutching their phones. "This ain't over. Y'all gonna see who's really lying real soon?" She smirked, ended the stream, and left fans in pure chaos. Now the stage is set for a showdown nobody asked for, but everybody's watching. Is Claressa bluffing, or does she have actual receipts? Did Pap make the mistake of his life, or is he being framed by Claressa's spiral? Is Remy truly unbothered, or is she biding her time to drop the hammer? The cliffhanger is brutal because the truth is still dangling in the air. And one thing's for certain, the next time one of these three makes a move, the entire internet will stop and watch. And that's where we're leaving it tonight, fam. Claressa Shields may have tried to shut it down, but all she did was blow the roof off this scandal even more. She cried, she fought back, she threw shade, and she ended with a warning that made everybody clutch their phones. Pap posted his cryptic God knows truth. Remy flexed her queen energy. And the so-called receipts keep flying around like wildfire. So now the million-dollar question is, what do you believe? Is Claressa really the victim of trolls twisting her words and ruining her name? Or did she expose herself by bringing Pap into the conversation in the first place? Was her breakdown genuine pain from being bullied about her looks? Or was it guilt spilling out because too many secrets are catching up with her? I want you to light up that comment section, right? Now, tell me, do you think Papoose is completely innocent? Or did Claressa's tears reveal more than she meant to? Do you think Remy Ma is quietly plotting her next move? Or is she truly unbothered, letting the internet burn itself out? And here's the biggest one. If there's really a bombshell still coming, who do you think's going to drop it, Claressa, Pap, or Remy? Make sure you smash that like button if you think this story is far from over. And subscribe with notifications on, because I can promise you this, the next update is going to be even bigger. I've got sources whispering about new DMs, a voice memo we haven't heard yet, and a major celebrity who's about to step in and take sides. Trust me, you don't want to be the last one in the room when that hits, so keep your eyes on this. Channel, the storm isn't over. In fact, it's just getting started, and the next round, it might not just ruin reputations, it could shatter an entire empire.